let's get to a couple more of these things. Joe, do you want to know who the happiest fan base in the country is?
Auburn.
The Auburn Tigers. Nick Saban is out. Hugh Freeze set to call plays. Joe, Hugh Freeze announced a couple of days ago that he will be calling plays or offensive plays. Dude, I got to admit, I love it because he's a great play caller. What was your first thoughts when you heard the news?
Yeah, I mean, this was buried during the national championship run, but their offense was good this year, and there were a lot of limitations. But I honestly was shocked that he wasn't calling the plays from the jump. I was really shocked that was not a decision coming in that he would be calling the plays. And I don't know if that was just a responsibility standpoint of not wanting to overwhelm himself, but the guy is a brilliant coach. He is a brilliant recruiter. He is a brilliant offensive mind. I think that this is the right decision to go to it. And part of the reason why I was surprised by this, though, and why I thought that he should have already been doing it, it's one of those things where you can't go backwards. You know, like you can't, if this doesn't work out in a season, go back and find somebody else, because it's just a really weird roundabout decision, and it's hard to rally and have confidence in a coach who's constantly flipping his mind and flipping his decision making. But I'm glad that he's doing it. It's going to be better for Auburn.
I don't hate it in a rebuild, which I think Auburn is in. I will say, though, coaches that normally are in the conversation for winning national titles aren't play callers. Name the last time that a head coach that called plays won an Natty.
Urban didn't call plays. I don't think that there has been. That's a good point.
That's not to say that there is not a look. There's not to say that there's not heavy involvement in a coach like Harbaugh, literally in this national title, who doesn't sign off on offensive play calling. I love the move because I think he's a fantastic play caller, especially in a rebuild. I don't want him doing it more than 1 or 2 years, though. I do think that he's going to have to bring in an OC that can call plays, run his offense, and do things. Now, that's not to say that he can't be the out of the norm thing that happens. But look, a lot of people have criticized a guy like Lincoln Riley for continuously calling plays and not being more of a CEO type. I do think they get instantly better because I think they're going to add really big pieces on the outside at wide receiver. I think they'll get better and continue to get better along the offensive line. I think they got some solid running backs. I do love the move, and I think that defensively they've started to recruit a little bit better. So yeah, I don't love it for a long-term stint. For a year or two, I don't mind it.
Yeah, and I think that, so that's actually a really good point. Kind of counters what I said earlier of flipping back and forth, which why I'm saying it is I wish he didn't have to do that, but he's probably going to. It's good for the building of this program because you can potentially get, another 10 points per game, 5 points per game average out of this season. You can get more juice, more production out of your offense this year. And as you try to climb towards 8 or 9 wins in 2024, which is your ultimate goal for your second season, it makes you more desirable for portal kids and upcoming recruits to see Coach Freeze is hands-on and Coach Freeze is building an offensive weapon in the SEC, and I want to be a part of that. There's a reason why Lincoln Riley was able to get all those kids to come to USC at first when he first got there. There was a reason why, because they all wanted to be a part of the fireworks that were being created at USC. And the same thing goes for any of these offensive-minded coaches, for anyone who wanted to go play for Ohio State and be there for Ryan Day, and for anyone, any of these offensive-minded guys. Everyone wants to go there. All the best offensive prospects want to go there because they want to put up points and they want to get drafted high.
I agree. Look, on the offensive side, I think they'll be good offensively. I do bet it does beg the question, though, how focused can you be on one side of the ball and not helping the other? And if I'm not mistaken, he's got a DC to replace too, does he not? Because oh my God, he coached at Southeastern in my alma mater. Why is his name blanking on me? Ron Roberts is going to Florida.
Yes.
So, I mean, he's got a couple of things that he's got to replace here. And I do think he's got to go get a good DC. You know what I would do if I'm him?
What?
I'd hire Cadillac as my OC.
I like that. I mean, Cadillac's a great coach.
I think I'd put Cadillac there because he could get respect throughout the entire offensive side of the football. It elevates him, okay, to some extent, gives him a role to run some things. Let's see what they do along the defensive side here. Let's get to another one before we start getting out of here. We got about 15 minutes.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.